get another live update for you next. The KZN Department of Transport this morning visits injured children and all the affected families following yesterday's minibus taxi crash in Imbali Township, which is in Pietermaritzburg. The tragedy claimed the lives of 5 children when that taxi ploughed into a crèche. Our Silethiwe Ndlovu is at the crèche this morning and joins us now. Lele, good morning. It's just so inconceivable, these small, they at a crèche, and just talk to us about how old the victims were and what more we know about how this incident happened.
Good morning, Iman. Well, the victims that lost their lives yesterday, we are yet to receive that information from the department. We know, of course, that they are going to be visiting affected families sometime this morning. But what we have certainty on is the other victims that were inside the building when that taxi ploughed into the crèche, and were told that children that were here, the youngest, I do believe they had said, was 2 years old, and the eldest was only 5 years old. So there's, of course, much trauma when you're looking at those children that were here during that time of the incident. However, there's also that question of whether the crèche is actually going to open this morning. As you can see from behind me, the gate remains open. Now, the gate remains closed, rather. Now, yesterday, from the conversation that we had with the supervisor, there was uncertainty in terms of how to actually move forward. Of course, the one of the buildings is destroyed. The other building that you're actually just about to see now, my colleague Gift Nkosi is actually going to show you. But that building also an impact there. However, in terms of the operations going forward, we know that there's much conversation when you're looking at the children that have been affected. Now, there's questions on when the crèche is actually going to open, especially because we know that this is a safe space, Iman, for the children that do actually go to this particular crèche. But also there's questions in terms of when those interventions are actually going to be provided, especially because, you can see the impact right now on the building. But also questions regarding when the urgent counseling is going to come when you are looking at those children that were here during that time when the incident took place. Now, viewers will remember that in the early hours of yesterday, the taxi ploughed into this building that you can see in front of you. And inside the minibus taxi were 13 scholars that were going to different high schools and different primary schools in the area. Inside the taxi also is where you would find the deceased. We're told that 5 of those children that lost their lives were only children that were inside that particular vehicle. But also the shock from yesterday's crash comes from the fact that the minibus taxi driver abandoned the taxi before it actually crashed into the building. So there's many questions and investigations that many people are waiting for in terms of, one, whether the vehicle was actually roadworthy, and also, Iman, what could have led to that driver actually abandoning the vehicle.